Alaska's remote and dispersed communities present a persistent challenge for national security and disaster response. Traditional energy infrastructure across much of the Arctic and subarctic communities rely on fragile, isolated microgrids. These systems are seasonally supplied by barges that travel along the coast and rivers during warmer months to deliver goods and fuel. These important shipments are subject to delays from cold weather, sea ice, seasonal storms, and erosion. Any disruption to the supply chain could result in a risk to Alaska's rural energy, especially in times of conflict or supply chain disruption. If a delivery fuel fails to reach a community, it can cascade into a public safety risk, health emergencies, and homeland security vulnerabilities. And should a delay persist and fuel run out, it can cause infrastructure outages that jeopardize emergency operations and destabilize the region. For the safety of Alaskan communities and the nation's security, it is important to adjust local microgrids to incorporate a variety of other energy solutions, ensuring that the critical infrastructure is maintained and reliable energy exists should diesel shipments become lost or delayed. The Department of Homeland Security is tasked with preparing for, responding to, and mitigating such threats. But currently, no decision support system exists to comprehensively guide local, state, or federal officials on energy infrastructure planning in Alaska and how to mitigate problems and risks. Nor is there a way to help evaluate terrain challenges, ecological constraints, and cost barriers that limit the adoption of alternative solutions to these communities. To assist DHS in this effort, ADAC-ARCTIC's project for resilience assessment for power infrastructure and energy reliability, also known as RAPIER, is seeking to build an AI-enabled planning tool to support regional energy decision-making. The project is designed to find solutions with the aid of technology and incorporation of AI features to make a tool that will change how energy solutions are found. This will help DHS secure rural and frontier regions, empowering communities and mission planners with the data and foresight needed to reduce dependency on vulnerable supply chains, and improve infrastructure resilience across Alaska and the Arctic through the evaluation of terrain, environmental risk, energy usage patterns, cost, and operational requirements to recommend tailored energy solutions. The RAPIER tool will be able to find cost-effective solutions for local residents based upon the needs, strengths, weaknesses, and limitations of the territory. One region might have limited sunlight due to high latitudes. Because of regular ice buildup, wind turbines might not work for another. And another region might need to invest into natural gas as a cheaper source of energy. This will offer a data-driven alternative to the guesswork of energy planning, utilizing the built-in AI to rapidly evaluate complex variables across a wide array of energy solutions. Users can input key details such as environmental conditions, terrain type, wildlife patterns, and population size. The tool then offers customized energy options scored for cost, risk, availability, reliability, and longevity. To generate these responses, the RAPIER team has been collecting information on Arctic communities and researching the different impacts energy options have and the power benefits they provide. The goal is then to plug this information into an AI tool that end users can utilize for inquiries that might not be shown on traditional charts. As other factors come into play, the tool will be updated to take these measurements into consideration, while also helping to monitor current power grids. Not only does this tool have the potential to speed up the decision-making process, it can assist in the model, size, and cost of the solution. This method evaluates regional variables to figure out what power solution is ideal for the region. With this information, one can evaluate the pros and cons of wind, solar, nuclear, hydroelectric, diesel generators, natural gas, coal, and geothermal. By building this tool, RAPIER becomes a frontline resource for DHS and its components, and other federal stakeholders who must assess the viability of infrastructure in disaster-prone or geopolitically sensitive regions.
There is a lot of critical infrastructure that the DHS maintains and that other DoD components maintain that sits in these rural communities that can be affected by these energy-related supply chain challenges. And so looking for alternatives to these energy sources like diesel is really, really important to making sure that we can stay resilient in the Arctic in the event of an emergency or a potential conflict, where our infrastructure and our radar systems and our ability to respond quickly to challenges in the Arctic will be really important.
There are compromises to be made, and the choice of technology depends on the outcome of that analysis. If the technology is mature, wind technology is pretty mature, but not in the Arctic. This is likewise with other technologies. Geothermal, for example, pretty well developed. They're not where the people are. Now we're talking about, well, how do you transport the energy? Basically two things you can do. You can make hydrogen or you can make ammonia. They both can be used as fuel. They both can be used to make other stuff. And the choice probably comes down to transportation and cost.
So for us, it was very, very important to engage the community right on front. The community have different needs and preferences on how to actually generate, consume, or manage energy support. It is very important, the piece, because there is a need to connect policies to technology. And the way to do that is through optimization, in which through the optimization also a broad range of different technologies are applicable, including AI.
Diesel is a secure option right now, but that's because there is general stability in our supply chain. What happens if you can't, for some reason, get enough fuel to a community? Having an alternative energy source, one that has a fuel source that is more local, can help extend the life of that diesel fuel in a combined energy mix, or allow them to work entirely independently of that if they so needed to.
This tool will ensure that DHS decision makers at every level, from state energy planners to responders, have access to actionable intelligence about power grid options in regions where security, sovereignty, and survival are tightly intertwined, whether it's federal officials or local governments, or those in construction and business. This tool equips the end user with the ability to quickly evaluate solutions for each region of the state. This level of precision enables not just smarter energy investment, but more secure communities, better emergency preparedness, and sustainable development that aligns with DHS goals for resilience and risk reduction. Energy is more than just a utility. It is a cornerstone of stability, growth, and security. As DHS faces more growing demands in the Arctic, investment into decision support systems like Rapier will prove essential for building a resilient homeland, especially in the face of volatility, global competition, and domestic vulnerability. Rapier empowers DHS and its partners to evaluate risk, anticipate failure points, and implement resilient, cost-effective energy solutions that secure not just power for Alaska's communities, but innovation, national defense, and long-term Arctic security.